How are you doing there, Mr. Guest?
Hey, how are you?
Let me change my specs. Okay, I need your opinion. I need your expert opinion.
Are we live?
Professional reader specs or
Can you see with both of them?
yes,
Okay, so the ones you just put on, I like better.
these ones?
Yeah, I like those better.
They go with my big head? Okay, cool.
No, they blend in better. As you can see, that's what I'm wearing, something very similar.
Yes, I like that hat.
I knew you would. You know what? If you're nice to me, I'll tell you who designed it.
Well, one might wonder how he or one might get one. That makes any sense. Yeah, we are live, and I'm having some delicious carrot cake because
Well, should I tell them who designed this hat?
um
So I think it's a really cool design. Can you see it?
I like it. Yeah. I'm thinking we should wait till the reveal,
Yeah, okay.
and then we can tell everybody everything.
But did a nice job. Hey, I have some
I
news.
love the patches.
I have some news, but I'm
Oh,
not.
by the way, Susan's son died.
Susan, the
Susan,
Susan we
Susan.
know?
Yes.
How? When?
Remember, he was bad with drugs. He passed away a few days ago. I
Are you
saw.
serious?
I saw. I was gonna call you, but it was really late, so I was like, nope, not gonna call you. So
Wow.
yeah, she was like, R.I.P. my sweet son. You know, we miss you such a nice. I mean, but yeah, I think he succumbed to his habits.
And you know that for a fact?
Well, that's the only thing that was the only thing that was the problem that he had. Was remember he'd OD'd so many times. Remember?
No,
Sue,
no,
what's up, Sue?
nobody told me that.
If you had to guess what? Sue, what are you talking about if you had to guess? Let me send Soup the link so he can jump in on here, man.
Hey, how do you
Yeah,
like my new clock in the background?
I love the new clock in the background, but I'm more intrigued by that reddish cherry wood looking frame that's behind your head that's really got my eye.
Don't you just love it? I love red.
Yeah, it's a really nice frame there. I like the woodwork on that deal. So
Well, with respect to Christian, which is Susan's son's name, so we don't. I'm shocked what you're telling me.
what do you mean? Probably not.
Probably not what.
No, Soup responded to a message I sent him about going to a thing on a Thursday. And he was like, he's probably not going. What do you mean you're probably not going? I missed you on the last one, Soup. Oh, if you had to guess who made the hat. Who made the hat? Yeah. Didn't you get that made in China?
I'm talking about who designed the hat.
Oh, who designed the hat? Oh, you got to work in the AM. Okay, Soup. I sent you the invite if you want to pop in for like a few minutes, have a smoke and talk to us for like a couple minutes on break and then jump back to work. Or I reckon it was like after 7 o'clock and you're out of work already. And yeah, this is some delicious carrot cake. Thank you for asking, fan number one. I mean,
Okay, so
Rosa's Cafe is the only Mexican restaurant that offers, isn't cheesecake like or carrot cake like a German dish or something? What is no seriously? What is carrot cake? Is that German or Irish or what is that?
it kind of niche. I don't know.
What do you mean a kind of niche? Isn't that I don't know in German?
Yeah, I think. Well, based upon what you were saying last week,
Yeah,
um, my response is this: now that I'm seeing you for the first time in a week,
I
uh,
got you, Soup.
Go ahead.
Nadam say Dasi do messed it up. Nadam say Dasi Boye.
Mm-hmm.
That means I hope you're feeling better.
Mama say, Mama sa, Mama kusa. That means
Nadam say Dasi Boye.
Nam say Dusty Boye. Your German is good.
That's not German. That's not German.
Don't tell me you're speaking Croatian again.
That's Croatian. Yeah, I'm trying to
You're
learn.
German, for God's sakes.
That's okay. So,
based on what I was talking about, you were saying?
Yeah, I didn't know. That's really shocking news.
Mm-hmm.
And you think that that's the reason. You don't know for sure, though.
We don't know, but I mean, it was building up to it.
Man.
I mean, the guy's OD'd how many times since?
I mean, I haven't spoke to his mom in years because, I stopped being her friend because of Carbon. So, and now she's all sour and bitter towards me. And I'm like, listen, the reason why I stopped being your friend is because even though he won't admit it, he liked her. He still liked her. They had a thing 20 years ago, but he liked her, or he was a friend. And I've had these friends before. He's one of those friends that's like, I have a girl, and because he would always joke, and I know these jokes, and it's not a joke, but you say it's a joke so that it avoids argument. But here's the thing. He would joke like, she's probably gonna be all over you and such, and because he knows, because she made no surprise or no secret of it. Even Sophia knew that she liked me. You know what I mean? And so she'd be nice to my son, and she would do all these things, and we were friends. But I was like, listen, it's causing an uncomfortable rift in my situation with the whole Carbon thing. And I was like, listen, I don't want to cause any problems. I said he won't admit it, but I think he still has something for you, or he just doesn't want me to have you. And I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of, he still had something for her, but he doesn't want to see me with her either. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, just to keep respect, I don't want any problems with that. We can't, I have to step back on our friendship. And she got pissed at me, and her last words to me were, you're an adult, I'm an adult, we're adults. He can't tell us who to be friends with. And that was it. So.
Well, and let's move off of this. We don't need to devote our time as human beings fighting with one another. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous what, and petty little arguments or hurt feelings or whatever. It's just, it's sad to hear that her son has passed away. That truly is sad.
But how is that related? That's related because normally we would have reached out to her, and because of that nonsensical skirmish back there, I haven't reached out to her. I can't even reach out to her.
We're all mutual friends here. I didn't know. I'll reach out to her.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had no idea.
But now, isn't she mad at you because you seemingly didn't care about her friend being incarcerated?
I don't know. Like I say, there's no point in doing petty stuff,
But seemingly that seems to be the way things are happening. Because you have another friend that's bitter with you because you haven't called fast enough to say something.
No, that's true.
And this is a person that's on their deathbed, and that's what you're worried about on your deathbed. You can't forgive that in hopes that maybe you'll hear from your friend. And it wasn't like you hadn't heard from your friend. Thankfully, it wasn't a situation where you reached out and you weren't able to come in contact or anything for God intercepted reasons. If God intercepts, she's no longer here with us. You know what I mean?
Well, I think, Mo, what we should take away from this is that don't ever go to bed at night mad at somebody, anybody, whether they're mad at you or you're mad at them. Don't go to bed being mad, because you might not wake up. They might not wake up. You and I have both known people that have just suddenly died, just boom, click, switch off. And can you imagine how you would feel if somebody that you knew, you had some kind of a petty little disagreement, and then somebody dies? That's just nutty. And it can happen. So it's it's much better just to not get involved in those kind of things. And if somebody is upset, you say, "Look, I'm sorry you feel that way, and but I'm not gonna dwell on it. We're gonna move on."
Yeah, I gave up that anxiety. I can't, because I'm gonna sit. If that's the case, I'm gonna sit at my phone all day, living in the past, trying to call everybody, trying to make amends. And listen, it is what it is. You're sorry, you apologize. It put me in the hospital. Doctor said you can't fix everything. You can't make everybody happy. You can't do it all. You can't love everybody. That was his advice to me. My anxiety disappeared. Not had any problems since. You can't do it. Some people die, and that's just the way it is. And one day I'm going to be among them, right? So
Sure.
Until that day comes, I'm not going to sit here trying to make everybody happy. I'm not going to sit here trying to make everybody please. If you like me, I'll know it. If you love hanging with me, I'll know it. If we love spending time together and being friends, we know it.
And if you're going to hang up,
yeah, exactly. You know it. How did you get this number? But
hey, no, well, I've got some good news. I've been anxious to tell you.
What's that?
Okay,
don't tell me it's the best news that I'm going to hear in my life. Your mom's pearls?
No, but this is related. I can't reveal all the details. I'll tell you off the air, but I talked with a gentleman last week, and he's going to let me do some photography that's going to go on some products that are going to be distributed, hopefully in about 200 locations in Texas, only Texas.
Nice.
And this photography, the reason I have the pearls here, is going to involve models in a variety of ways, but one of the lines is going to be vintage photos. So photos of models in flapper outfits and holding old cameras, and the kind of stuff that you and I had talked about that we wanted to do.
The stuff that's right up your alley, yeah.
I found a gentleman who said, yes, I would like to do that. I would like to put these pictures on these packages. We didn't go into a lot of detail, but it's all green lights. There's not going to be money changing hands. I consider this a great opportunity to have these photos out there all over Texas. And the models that pose for these, their image is going to be out there. I'm not sure.
Wait, what do you mean there's no money changing hands? You're not getting paid?
No. I'd consider this a privilege to do this. I mean, it's a chance to really showcase the work big time. And it's a chance for the models to showcase also. Now, what I don't know, I'm going to try to get this, but I may not be successful. I'd like to put the model's name on the photo. I don't know if they'll go for that, because you don't see that in product photography. You just see the picture, But in terms of a portfolio photo, they can have this package of the product, and they can say, look, that's me on the package.
Right.
I mean, I think this is a big deal.
Well, it sounds like a big deal. And that's why I asked about, are you being compensated? Because that sounds like that could be a good compensation.
Well, the compensation is going to be the opportunity to say, I shot all the pictures that's in this line of products. These are all my photos. These are all the people that we work with.
So question, Real quick question. So does it not beg the question, who's the person? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in order for you saying, hey, this is me that shot these pictures and everything, if nobody cares about that guy, why do they care who shot the pictures for that guy? Like, as opposed to, let's just say this guy, it works for Nike or something huge like that, and you shot those pictures, and you get the opportunity to say, yeah, I shot those pictures. That's my work. Why do we care? What's up, Unc? Why do we care about this person? Who is this person? Why does the customer base or the people, and why is it a privilege, I guess? Go ahead.
Okay, here's the answer to that question.
Okay.
So this is not Sports Illustrated. Let me emphasize that.
Okay.
But if somebody came to you and said, "Hey, Mo and Doug, would you shoot some pictures for Sports Illustrated? We're not going to pay you." Would you do it?
I don't have a comment on that, because the earlier me, what's up, Jersey? The earlier me would have been like, yeah, sure. But now, because when you've been stuck in the anus with a dry stick for so long, now it's about money, and we're not friends. It's business. We're not friends, and you get it. So Sports Illustrated, as big as they are, they can afford to pay me. So I would need to get paid. That's asking.
Well, like I say, it's not Sports Illustrated. But what I'm saying is that if an art director from Sports Illustrated came to me and said, "Hey, Doug, we really like your work. We'll let you do a test shoot. Let's see what you can do under the pressure and under the deadlines and all that kind of stuff. But we're not going to pay you. We're trying to see if it's any good."
Well, yeah. If you're asking me, I would do it for recognition, to get exposure for the next gig. I would.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Famous words by Jersey Allen. Everybody say what up to Jersey Allen. Jersey Allen, say what up.
What up?
Well, he said it. That's why I said his words. He said what I would have said. So I said it in his words and gave him the credit for what he just said. Jersey Allen. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would do that. Yeah, if it's an opportunity, open doors. Yeah, sure, why not? You know what I mean? So
and we've already done this a million times. I mean, we've already done all this work to demonstrate our ability, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, and to add to that, very good point, very true statement. And to add to that, they would stick it out. They wouldn't bail like some of the other talent. You know what I mean? They would stick it out, and we know that they would probably furnish the models, so the models would be very professional. We would get a lot done. I think we would get so much done that we would be able to really capitalize on our work and our talents and showcasing whatever our talent was. In fact, we would do it so much, in fact, so they would probably come back to us and say, hey, listen, that test shoot was such a success. Here's a check for $250,000. We want to go ahead and hire y'all for these next catalogs. You're right. You know what I mean? But if you're a dick about money in the beginning, you may have lost out on that. So yeah, you're right. I see both sides of the coin, and I tend to now change my mind and drift more towards the latter. Yeah.
Well, and I know why you answered the way you did is because you and I have done so much free work that where's our piece of the pie?
That's it. And that's all we were asking for in the beginning, was our piece of the pie. And people get attitudes and get mad. Somebody said I would make sure that they would give me the recognition as the director of the entire shoot, because someone will want to know who did the work. Yeah, that's all included. Yes. Very good point.
And yes, the question that I don't know yet, but I'm going to certainly push for it, is to have the names of the people, the models that appeared and the people that shot the pictures included in the package. I don't know how. I mean, you go into a grocery store and you look at packages, they never write that down.
Right.
So is there any way that we can change it and say, look, if I'm going to do this, it takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of free work. I need some recognition.
Right. No,
just
definitely.
Little
especially if you're not paying. If you're not paying, don't stop me from eating altogether because you're not paying me. Like, yeah, I agree. So absolutely, very good stuff here from our guests here.
That's why I've got the pearls.
We got the pearls. So that is good news then.
I think it is, yeah.
And so congratulations on this upcoming gig that you've got going, and
We're talking springtime sometime when the weather's good and the vegetation is
and the
good.
cedar's active. Nice, very nice. Very nice. For those of us who are allergic to cedar, they're very nice, Doug. Very nice. Way to think of the team, Doug. Woohoo! Well, I don't have allergies. To cedar. Yeah. So also, ATS has said that way all participants get an open door for the next and payable opportunities. Yes. My vote's yes on that statement. Your thoughts, Mr. Guest?
I agree. If it opens doors, it should open doors for everybody that participates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, Mo, we've been down this road. We've done this so many times. It's like
We paved the road.
where
I feel like we haven't, but it feels that way.
where are these doors? You know,
Yes, yeah, lots of hallways, but no doors, and for that matter, no bathrooms. Not even a door for a bathroom, just to take a fucking piss break, for God's sakes. After all we've been through, you get what I'm saying? RC says, agreed. I agree with you, RC, aka Unk. So yeah, you know what I mean? So it seems like people are on board here. So you mentioned earlier today that you hoped I felt better based on what we talked about last time. No, no, it wasn't a feel better thing, and I didn't feel bad either. I had just RC says no ending hallways, right? So no, I stand firmly on what I said last podcast. Like I said, I was realizing that I was going out of my way to share and to publicize other people's movement and show support to their cause. And then when I looked on their page and stuff, I saw no support from any of my cause. And I've shot videos for a lot of these people. I've done behind the scenes footage work for these people. And I've even gave them the footage, the behind the scenes footage, so that they could showcase some of my work with only one person took some of my work and added it to his work. And that was Matt Hyder, a dude I fuck with from way back when he was short hair, Matt Hyder, with the little beard strip going across his chin. Now Matt Hyder is hanging out with the likes of Ashanti. Matt Hyder got it going on. He's doing his thing. Shout out to my man, Matt Hyder, bro. He's out there kicking it with Ashanti. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. It just, like I said, the old saying goes, you want to know who your friends are? Start a business. I have one. And I've certainly learned who a lot of people are. But you get a lot of people that ask you to show support for what they do. And then when I did the research and I checked on their stuff, none of my stuff's there, but everybody else is there. And I'm like, that's funny. You don't know me with anything else except to ask me to promo you and push you. I've been a brand around a lot longer than there's a lot of people that are doing their stuff now. T-shirts, you could ask me over 12 years ago for T-shirts. What? Jersey, 2007? I was doing T-shirts back then. Some of these dudes was in middle school and some of them elementary and some of them high school in 2007. You know what I mean? And now these people are out here big shit. I've been doing it. What are you talking about? 2007, I was in my 30s in 2007. Some of y'all are just entering your 30s. You know what I'm saying? And some of y'all are leaving your 30s to start to get into your 40s. I'm leaving my 40s to get into my 50s. So I've been here for a minute. So this shit that you're bringing is nothing new to me, at least not to me. I've seen it before. I've been through it all, seen it all. You know what I mean? What the fuck else could happen, yo? Word to God, yo. For real. And that's in my Mobb Deep voice. Anyways, yo, I'm just saying. So all I'm saying is you want me to push you want me to promo you, but you're not pushing a promo in me. Something's not right with that picture. And so I felt the kind of way, and I was like, listen, you know what? I've been Mr. Nice Guy all these years. I've been Mr. Support everybody despite I was sick and broken down with an emotional breakdown because I was trying to make everybody happy. I was trying to please everybody. I needed everybody to like me. I cared about everybody's opinion, and went to the ER and damn near felt like I was dying. Was at a Walmart, 2010. My legs got heavy and sluggish. Like I felt like I burst open a main artery and my blood was filling up in my legs. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I was sluggish and my heart was beating 100 miles an hour. I thought I was having a heart attack and ended up in the ER. And the doctor walks in. He's laughing at me. See, a lot of people don't know I went through that, but I'm not ashamed. He's laughing at me and I'm thinking, this is it. I'm about to say goodbye and this is it. And he says, listen, you got a big heart, I could tell. He says, but you can't fix everybody, can't fix everything. You can't love everybody, can't love everything. So you got to learn to let some shit go. During that sickness, people still asked me to help produce their stuff, help do their work, help push their music. And I couldn't even get out of bed. I lost a lot of weight. I went from 226, 228 pounds to 160 pounds, bro. I look like I had AIDS. If that's it, is AIDS, do people still get AIDS or is it COVID now? Is everything all COVID?
Yeah, AIDS is still there. It's funny how we don't talk about it, but yeah, it's still there.
It's still there? Okay. I didn't know people still got AIDS and stuff, but it looked like I had that. And it taught me a lot. And so I started letting people go and I started being different. That's why you don't see me out and about no more. I'm not that guy no more because nobody cared about that guy. They only cared about their version of that guy, which was benefiting them. But I was failing. And I just don't, how do you benefit somebody if you're gone? Well, you don't. They move on. You fail, they move on. You can't. And they move on. They don't ever stop. Nobody looks for you. It's the old cliche. You get the nice talks at the funeral. Well, what the fuck do I give a fuck about how much you miss me now? You didn't have 5 minutes for me when I was alive. Now I'm dead and gone. And now you've got nothing. He was a cool dude. I'd like to have heard that when I was alive. For me, it would have been nice to have heard that from time to time. Hey, man, you're a really cool dude. I really appreciate you, bro. And this and that. So, the nice guy's over with. I said all that to say this. If you're not going to sponsor or promo me, I'm not going to push and promo. I'm not going out of my way for you. My health is my wealth. I have everything I want. They call me dad. That's everything I want. All the other shit is just on the surface, man. Computers come and go. Money comes and goes. Women come and go. Friends come and go. My babies, man. And that's what I care about. And I don't worship them. I worship God, but I'm thankful to God for them. I should be so lucky. The piece of shit I've been and the shit that I've been through in my life. Whew. Anywho, let's take some comments from let's see. Man, we got a lot of comments, man. No way, no ending hallways. ATS says true. Appreciate that. RC says hell yes. Facts. Oh, no, ATS says hell yes. RC says facts. And I rocked your shit to this day and put you on my page to make sure folks knew who did the work I was wearing. Oh, yeah, for true. That's facts. I still got the photos to prove it. Yeah, that's facts. RC, Jersey, stand up. 2007, I was leaving. Never mind. Oh, man, come on. Okay. You forgot about yourself. Yeah, I did. Mental break. Mental or emotional. It might have been more emotional. Because the doctor said he mentioned that the only problem with my heart was it was broken. So it might have been more emotional than mental. You took on more than you were able to contain. Actually, I actually what's the word I'm looking for? I actually penned in a lot more than I could take. I penned up a lot of stuff. I never talked about anything. I would just drink and punch people in the face. So somebody would say something to me crazy that triggered the fight. But what really caused the fight, what caused the ass whooping was I was pissed off at somebody 20 years ago and I never let it go. I never got over it. I never forgave it. And so I've been really working on myself on forgiveness, like true forgiveness, not saying, oh, it's all right. But then every time I see that dude, I feel kind of way in the room. You feel that awkwardness. You shouldn't feel tension. Once you've thrown something away and you let it go, I should be able to see somebody. No, you don't have to sup with them. You don't have to live with them, move into their house together. but you should be able to walk up to them, shake their hand, and say, "Hey, man, how you doing? You all right?" And genuinely care, like, because that other stuff is over with. There's nothing that can be done about it. Bitching about it and being mad about it and holding grudges is not going to do anything. So I penned up a lot more, but I admire the sentiment. Got it. It took me a long time, RC says, to realize that. Facts. Replying to RC, same here. Facts. It takes a long time to come to terms with that. Exactly, Mo. I feel this deep. Thank you, RC. Unc. And I call you bro. Yes, you do. You've been family. Yes, I know what you're trying to say. You've been family for a million years. Dookie booty jeans. I used to be the same way. Yeah, facts, man. Facts, Unc. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and that's what it is, man. I'm with you. I'm to the point where I know who's who. And like I said, man, it is what it is. And in life, you hope for things, but things don't always pan out the way you hope. But don't stop living and stop being you, because people have other ideas. People grow apart, man. I got friends 30, 40 years ago. I thought I'd never be without. I could never imagine my life without these people. It's been 30 something years and I've been without these people. That's crazy. And when I look back on it, you know, I never thought of it. I just kind of went on my life. And that was a thing that I was worried about. And here I am 30 plus years, 40 years later. And I'm like, you know what? Oh, fuck. Bro, I've been this whole time without these people in my life. And these are people that I was nuts about. Like, these are my family for life. So you just never know, man. That's why you got to be thankful and say, yo, man, it was a great ride. I think that's much easier to hold on to than dealing with a grudge, man. Grudges, they suck the energy out of you. You're not driven anymore. You're comparing yourself to these people. Every time you see these people, and life makes you see people. Irony is God's greatest teacher. I'm going to tell you that right now. Racist people end up with grandkids of the race they can't stand or hate it. Ain't that something? You hate gays, you ain't supposed to hate nothing. You know, but you hate a thing, you always end up one way or the other dealing with it. I hate crazy women, and I end up with them. I said that out loud, my bad. This mic on? Damn, cut the mic. No. Let me see who's in the building, yo. We got Chris Dollar in the building. Dollar Bill, y'all. What's up, Chris Dollar? Got the horns up. I feel you, bro. Yo, I was the same way about certain people, and since I let them go, I noticed so much positive energy around me. Yeah, man, you got to fight for you. You got to fight for your energy, man. My buddy, man, shout out to the late, great Big J Ortiz, my homeboy, man, my friend I grew up with from kids in high school, man. You know, he said, man, nobody's going to die your death for you, so they shouldn't be able to live your life for you, man. And that stuck with me, and I cry over that dude a lot, man. I miss my mans, bro. Yo, it's crazy, man. He was my hero, man. You know, his personality, but his attitude was, I don't give a fuck. That was his whole personality. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And he lived and he died like that. He didn't trip, man. He didn't let that trivial shit get to him, man. It was what it was. He learned that the hard way. Almost killed him, and then maybe he killed him, but I don't know. Other things might have killed him, but yeah, no, he lived this life true, though. He was true to himself. He's like, look, man, I'm not hung up on all this other shit, man, and we're not doing that. So shout out to Big J Ortiz in the afterlife, man. RIP, man. You know what I'm saying, to my homeboy. Let's see what we got. I haven't forgot, just been going through some stuff. True. Chris Dollar Bill talking about what y'all doing, man. We just talking shit tonight. We're supposed to be reading the book, finishing chapter 1 of the Storytime Live with your boy Mo. Look for me. This is the book of one of the books, the first book of a series of books. Matter of fact, let me show y'all that we're trying to film. You know, we do films. I'm on here with Mr. Guest. He's a buddy of mine. We do film. And so we are planning, we're looking to get sponsorship by the big banks. This is season 1 of the Look for Me series. of course, you see I've got this is 1 through 4. I'm reading chapter 1 right now, which we should probably finish today. And this is season 2, and that's 5 through 8. Okay, and I think there's 4 or 5 seasons. How many seasons are we, Mr. Guest? Do you remember?
Okay, so there's a total of 3 seasons. Each season has 4 books. So there's a total of 4 books. 12. There's a total of 12 books.
So I was understood that there was a season 4 coming. No,
it's underway.
Yeah. So right now we have 3 seasons. Anyway, so we're looking to doing a full motion picture on that series, or maybe a series. Would you be more interested in doing the series instead, as like a saga, or just one big film? That's a lot for one big film.
Well,
I think
you talking about a mini series on television, or are you talking about a series of movies?
Yeah, well, the saga would be the series on movies, or it could be a saga as a mini series on television. Either or.
You could do it. You could do it a couple ways. You could make each book a separate movie. That'd be 12 movies.
Yeah.
Or you could make
who's doing that? The most you've ever heard is 4 movies at best. I think Lord of the Rings holds that.
Okay, so another way to do it is you take season 1, book 1, 2, 3, and 4, make one movie. Okay, it'd be a long movie, but yeah, you could do it one movie, and then season 2 would be the second movie. Season 3 would be the third movie. So it'd be a trilogy.
Hold on 1 second.
Have I lost Mo?
No, I'm here.
So it really depends on whether or not we scare up the money. You can't make a major project like this without some serious cash. And so that's why we're trying to do the Creep Tales series. Do that first, and then we can walk into some of these producers' offices and say, hey, look at our movies that we made on no budget. Imagine what we could do if we had a budget.
Right. Also, we're also doing another small series called the Creep Tales series. I don't know if you can see. My camera's seeing that way, but hang on 1 second.
Well, that's what I was just talking about. The Creep Tales series comes.
There it is, right there. See that black shirt? Yeah.
Creep Tales comes first so that we can prove our abilities. Mm-hmm. And then we go knock on doors until somebody says, all right, here's a check for $100 billion. That's very ambitious, but that's what the Look For Me series is going to take. It's going to take $100 billion. That's a lot of cash. I lost Mo again.
I'm here. I'm here. It's just everybody's hitting me up at once. I'm a multitasker.
Oh, okay.
Father duties. Yeah, no, and I agree. We definitely are pushing because my man Chris Dollar Bill, y'all said it's not even Chris Dollar, it's Chris $100. Chris $100 Bill, y'all. We got to put some respect on his name. Shout out to my man Chris Dollar, Chris Dizzy Dollar. Hey, I might be pulling up to y'all's thing on Thursday. You got a thing going on Thursday with Jay King, right? I may be pulling up to that. We'll see. But he was asking what we're doing. Jersey was like, I'm ready to meet Jay Ortiz. We had some great conversations on here. He's passed away. He passed away, 2 years ago? He passed away to end of season 4. Maybe, yeah, he season 4. So about a year or so ago, almost 2 years. What are we, 2022? So no, last year, 2021, right? And Nivea died last year too. So my neighbor Mike across the street, Nivea and Jay Ortiz all died pretty close. Oh, you were ready to meet him. My bad. Sorry about that. I thought you said I don't know why I saw it as I'm ready to meet him. For 2 things, I thought, hey, you were like, I'm done. I'm ready to check out and go be with him. Or you were looking to meet him. I got you. Unc said yes. He goes, I remember Jay. He's on my friend. Yes, I know, man. It's fucked up, man. And the crazy thing was, I was just talking to the dude. He was smoking his weed in his BMW, doing DoorDash during COVID. I think COVID wiped him out. He had a failing heart due to living the excessive life of a DJ and partying his ass off. We'll just leave it at that and respect my mans. in his grave. And I think
Mo,
he caught COVID, and I think COVID took him out.
Mo,
So
who's the guy that I don't remember his name, but he passed away. I drove out to wherever you were, someplace in
Sully,
Austin,
my man
and,
Sully Sullivan.
and we
He was
shot
he,
pictures.
he was
Shot
he was
pictures
another
for the
DJ.
album.
He was another DJ. Yeah, he had a drug problem and he was partying, and during the drug problem, the partying, he had a heart attack and went to the doctors. He stayed for like 2 days. His body gave him the warning. And I don't know if he had a series of heart attacks before, because he had a busted lip and a busted mouth, and he looked like they had to give him stitches in his mouth from probably collapsing and falling on his face from the heart attack. And then he did it again, and he lost significant weight. I hadn't seen him, and I think it was 2017, 2018, somewhere that was with my man Joe Walker. We went to a Christmas party at my old agency, Acclaimed Talent, and he was there. And he was really thin, and I remember talking to him, and he was like, "No, I'm fine, everything's great. I went there, they ran some tests, yeah, my body was just talking to me, I was doing a lot." And I remember that when he was at that party, he was drinking Red Bulls, and I remember telling him, "You sure you should be drinking Red Bulls? You just had a heart attack a day ago. I don't think you should be." "No, I'm fine, I'm fine." Well, he wasn't fine. It would appear that the morning after that Christmas party, he wasn't feeling well, went into the doctor's, he went into the ER to get looked at, say, "Hey man, I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling hot." He went to the doctors and he died right there, passed away. And I was like, who the fuck is serving him Red Bulls when they knew he had a heart attack? Like, what the fuck? And then he probably did drugs that night, because he was one of those guys that didn't worry about it. He didn't, I think cocaine was his drug of choice. He partied his ass off. He was a DJ, you party, you drink, you do drugs. And that was the same thing that happened to my man Jay, Big J. And he suffered a heart issue. I don't know if he had a heart attack or whatever, but he ended up in the hospital, and he was supposed to pass away 20 years ago. And he made it this far. And then COVID, he was on, he had the CPAP machine for breathing and stuff. He was on stuff. I remember he was supposed to move out here, and he was supposed to stay here with me for a little bit because he was doing the living in the van. He had a van cleared out and turned into a home. He's going to live here in my house and plug into my house and live in his van. And we're going to do a bunch of stuff and tour with his van life movement. And he, while everybody was quarantined inside and everything, he kept doing DoorDash, and he kept working for a living and everything. And I think he contracted the COVID virus. And I think that's what finally wiped him out, because he was supposed to get clearance from his cardiologist to come out here. And I recommended him a great cardiologist out here in Austin, one that I would go see. And they gave him clearance, but he never made it. Never made it here. Last thing I talked to him about, and said he was going to send me $1,500 to get everything started, to get the shirts printed, get the merchandise put together, so we could kind of get the ball rolling. And he was going to come out here, and we were going to, man, we had it all set up, man. It was going down. So yeah, no, man, I cried like a baby, bro, over my boy, man. At first it was like, nah. But then I remember a friend of mine that I grew up with from middle school hit me up. Now, this is a person I ain't seen since we were like 13, 14. "Bro, did you get the text?" He didn't even have to explain himself. All he said was, "Dude, did you get the text?" And I go, "No." And that was it. I couldn't breathe for like a couple days, bro. I mean, it knocked the wind out. Like, I grew up with this dude. Like, we played football, and this was my boy. Like, he's friends with my family. I'm friends with his family and everything. Man, like, history. I watched all my life, all our lives together. Our history passed before my eyes. It was just like, what the fuck? Like, bro, like, this is my high school buddy. Like, it's the reality, bro. It is what it is, man. So you can't worry about shit like that. You just say thank you, man. Thank God for the time I share with my boy. And you can't worry about that shit, because, like I said, it stresses you. I mean, it's an unwanted anxiety. You don't need that stress, man. You're not gonna be able to say goodbye to everybody. You're not gonna tell everybody you love them. So you just take the opportunity and scream it in space, like on Facebook, like right now. All my friends, everybody, you don't even got friends of mine. I love y'all. No funny. You know my slogan. I love you. No funny shit. Period. Period. I don't have to know you. I love you because I love your existence, bro. And I recognize you as a living entity in this world. And then on the next life, we turn up over there, bro. We got eternity in the next life. So we got nothing but time. So until then, turn up, enjoy, feel the pain and sorrow. Because when we go to the next place, there is no pain and sorrow. It's nothing but just chilling in a barbecue, man. Hey, and for those of us that love the barbecue, hello. What?
Mr. Guest has one word for all of this.
Go ahead, Mr. Guest.
You ready? One word and an explanation. Moderation. Moderation.
Yes, that's a very good word.
No matter what you do, what you like to do, play hard, work hard, et cetera, moderation. Take it easy. Don't try to do everything right now. There's, if you take it easy and if you don't overdo it, then you're going to last a lot longer.
Yeah.
Moderation.
And it's not even about lasting. It's, see, we talk death over ourselves. And that's the problem in this society. Just live, man. Live.
That's
why we deal with whatever happens in the day. Just whatever we're dealing with today. Don't worry about tomorrow and leave yesterday alone. Yesterday happened. It's gone. Nothing we can do about yesterday. We can do anything we can in this moment, and tomorrow will come, whether we're here or not. That's going to come. So at least be rest assured in that. But just live, man. Like moderation. Moderation. Yeah, that's a very good word. But yeah, no, moderation is true. Yeah, fucking, it is what it is. But
so.
Go ahead.
Remember the posters that we shot back in 2016, 2017. You and I did all that work. Remember the title of the posters? Live Life, Be Free. Nothing wrong with that. Live life, be free.
That's a DKE, Doug Kirk Experience t-shirt.
Don't turn yourself into a slave. You don't have to be a slave. Live life, be free. Take it easy. Moderation. You'll experience a ton of stuff that way. You don't have to experience it all tonight.
Right. Facts.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, no. Let's see. Yes, she did pass away. She was battling cancer. I think it was a lot of everything. I think it was cancer and obesity that killed her. She got extremely big. Like most people in cancer get small, but she was very big. And I remember the last thing I said to her, I was concerned about her weight. And she kind of deaf-eared it. She didn't really respond. But she talked to me about getting married and doing all that. And then she was gone. And I wouldn't find out until I realized when I was doing my Everybody Eats podcast for the music artists, we were supposed to work on a song together we worked on years ago. And I noticed I stopped seeing her, and she was doing the thing with her jewelry and everything. And I noticed I wouldn't get the alerts because I would always watch her and everything. And I realized, wait a minute. Nah. And I was like, nah. And denial started kicking in. And I said, you know what? Let me check. And I went and I checked her Facebook page, and sure enough, RIP. Boy, I broke down crying. I did my podcast, and I remember I cried over her. The last podcast that she was alive on, she was alive. She was on my podcast, and I remember I cried over her. We were playing our music. I was playing our music, and I cried over her to get better and fight through. But I think something spoke to my heart. I think I had a feeling then that I wasn't going to see her again. I had a bad feeling that I wasn't going to see her again. Something came over me, and it was just weird. I just got this weird feeling, and I just started crying. And I would just say, I remember I was like, I love you, girl. Just fight. And I'm here, anything. And the next thing I know, she was gone. Live life, be free. There it is.
I'm trying to figure out how to put it up here.
And that's our girl, Jamie Kidd.
I'm not too good doing things backwards.
Yeah, we can read it.
I mean, you remember all that stuff we shot?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was talking about Jay earlier when I was talking about the whole COVID thing wiping him out. Yeah, that's a lot of our work. Oh, there goes Kimmy. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Aubrey on top,
Aubrey,
Kimmy's on the bottom.
Kimmy, and is that Emmy Omai?
There's Emmy right there.
Emmy, oh my.
I think it's a great slogan.
Emmy, oh my.
Live life, be free. But Emmy, oh my is good too.
Remember, because it's supposed to be oh me, oh my. And it was like Emmy, oh my. Live life, be free. Look at those shots. Of course, the freaking leeches and the snakes, you know, outside of that and falling down cliffs. We had great. It was a great ordeal.
That's why we call it an experience. And as they say, the proof is in the pudding.
Mm.
Well, I want to know how Misty Adams is doing. All right, I'll read it.
No, hang on a second. Hold on. I'm hang on a second.
This is going out to 2 million people. We got dead air.
Sorry about that, dead air people. I got a customer that's likes one of my jobs, and I just wanted him to do a little touch up on something. I might have left some lines on the picture, and he was just telling me about it.
Well, and I've got to take a break. Grace is just coming in here. I need to take her outside.
Yeah, Gracie.
So carry on without me.
Well, we're not going to read without you. We'll wait till you get back. I just want to know, does Gracie have to do number 1 or number 2? I just want to know how much time we have. Did you say Grace? Hey, I thought you said Bear.
Grace.
Yeah. I just
there
referenced a favorite movie. Gracie! Woo!
She says, can you guys quit talking and let me go outside?
All right, fine, Gracie. Good grief. I think you know a girl. I knew you when you had more spring in when you had more pep in your step, Grace. I knew you about 12 years. I knew you about 12 years ago, Gracie. Yeah. Get a little old and get all grumpy. Anyway, let's see. But yeah, no, man. Hey, don't take it wrong way, man. We ain't talking about the fallen homies as a sad event, man. They're gone. Their troubles are over, man. You know, if heaven is what we hope it is and everybody's gone there, you know what I mean? I just pray. All I pray now for my homies is that God took them home and they're in a better place. And we're waiting our turn to get there. That's it. And that's all. Not worried about none of the other stuff. But anyway, all that spawned from me saying what I was saying last podcast. Listen, man, if you're not going to support me, please respect me and don't ask me to push your brand. And you're not even showing me no love. Like, come on, man. That's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? You're going to sit there and ask me to do a bunch of stuff that you yourself aren't even doing with me or for me, for that matter. I'm just not doing that, man. That's just not cool. It's disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? It's like, you're going to really sit there and ask me to push and promo you and help you eat. When you're out and about, you ignore me. I don't get invited to none of the stuff you're doing. B, when you do any of your stuff, you don't ask for my help. You know what I mean? When I do help you see, you don't even use my help. Like I said, Matt Hyder was the only one that took footage I shot of him. Matt Hyder is a very proud man. He works hard for what he does, everything he has. And so he gets his own footage and he does his own stuff. Went to school for it, everything. I did not. Okay. But he asked me to give him the footage. He said, yo, man, Mo, you give me the footage and everything, took care of me. And said, hey, yeah, man. So I said, yeah, sure. He took care of me. I gave him the footage. And he went through the footage that he liked. And the footage that he liked, he put it in his thing. Now, Matt Hyder doesn't usually do that. He usually works with his own stuff. But he wanted to see the angles I got. And he used some of my work. And that was love right there. That's love. And shout out to Matt Hyder for that. Again, I already told him that I had shouted him out. But, yo, shout out to him on that. He didn't have to do that, but he did. I shot behind the scenes videos with people, and you didn't even put any of my footage in your finished product. And so that's why something compelled me That's why I was compelled to take the behind the scenes footage, create a little reel of sorts, and then I pushed it and published it on YouTube and published it on Facebook and Instagram and shit, because I had a feeling that I was gonna be dogged out like that, and that's not cool. Like, yo, people are just so selfish and stuff, man. And so do me a favor, like I don't need you to shout me out, but don't ask me to shout you out, because I'm not gonna. And I don't care if that means that I lose you as a friend. Well, you was never my friend. No way. We don't kick it. You don't come to my house. I don't go to your house. Your kids don't know my kids. You know, we don't celebrate the holidays together. We're not doing, so there's no love lost. You just, all you doing is you just saying, I knew a guy and I choose not to know him no more. All right. That's cool. It is what it is. Fine. I still have a nice big ass bed behind me that I sleep in. See that? I love my big ass bed. It's soft. I sleep like a cuddly teddy bear. I love my little studio I got. I can do my own graphic design here. I can edit footage, shoot films and edit film and all that stuff. I do what I love. So it is what it is. And the thing I love about my stuff, I'm unschooled and untrained, but I taught myself. I'm self-taught. I built this from scratch. So yeah, I'm very proud of me. I'm capable. I'm not better than nobody, and I never acted like I was, and I never will act like I'm better than anybody. But it is what it is, and that's all it's going to ever be, and that's all I care for it to be. So live your life, like Doug said, either in moderation. Also live your life with no worries, man. Just live. Just live. I like the whole God approach. When they ask God who or what he was or what his name was or whatever, he says, I am that I am. There it is. Just be. Basically, don't worry about all that. You're worrying about too much. I am what I am. I am that I am. So, hey girl, what's up? So that's how we have to live. We just have to be. Just be until we're not. Well, at least in this world, we're not. You know, be here, be, just live. Don't stress about nothing. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live today. Just be. That's why I told y'all a couple podcasts ago, man. We live in life trying to get to death safely. People worried about all these. I know, you know how many health nuts I know that eat everything to the mathematics of health and drop dead out of nowhere. And what the fuck? So my whole thing is, if you want to eat a piece of cheesecake, eat it. If it brings you peace, because peace is not stress, and stress kills. Nobody's ever died of peace. You may have died in peace, but you ain't never died of peace, okay? So if you do something that brings you peace, you want to have a cocktail, man, have a cocktail. I ain't saying get belligerent drunk and overdo it, because then you make yourself sick, and then sickness kills you. And sickness is a stress on the body, and that's why it kills. But if you're having a cocktail, man, chilling with some loved ones, turning up over a bonfire or a barbecue, and you're just having a couple little cocktails and just having that little blissful memory, creating memories, that brings joy, and joy brings peace, and nobody's ever died. You see where I'm going with this? So, yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about, bro. I learned that the hard way, man. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody doesn't care about you. It is what it is. Live your life to the fullest of your ability and capability. Because I'll tell you one thing that's guaranteed, we all gonna die. We dying to get up out of here, right? So if that's guaranteed, then there's another guarantee. If you really want it, you can be happy if you want it. Happiness is a choice. A lot of people may beg to differ, but if you think about it, if you tell yourself, no, I'm not letting nothing get me down, I'm gonna be happy today. Today is the day. For me, I'm happy. I'm feeling good. I'm showered. Got my hair cut. I just got me a new fitty. I'm about to get out and, you know, I'm turn up. Yeah, you see, you chose that, and you told yourself that I'm doing this. I'm not doing the other stuff. Not stressing. Not today. Not me. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can choose to be happy. You can, and that's a guarantee. I guarantee if you choose to be happy, you're happy. If you choose to be depressed and stay in and wallow and come up with excuses, do you know it's most people that are depressed, when you try to cheer them up, what do? They reach into this bag of excuses of why they're upset, and they're failing the point. What's the point? I didn't ask you why you were upset. I came here to let you vent about being upset, but also to help put in that bag of negativity some positivity in helping you to change your mind about the situation, the mood in the situation that you're in, and be happy. And be happy. It's hard for somebody to be mad when you make them smile. You ever notice that? You ever get somebody get somebody to smile when they're mad?
That's
Man,
right.
stop. I don't want to see, because now you got no choice. Now you're in a better, and then they feel someone named your man when they thought, and you see what happens. They instantly think about it. They're like, man, you know what? You were right, man. And they have a better day. They feel much better and they go on about their day. And you leave. The room is now clear. You have just cleansed the room of dark spirits, dark energies. Yes, you did that. So if you can do that, then you can tell yourself that you're going to be happy, and that is a guaranteed fact. Death is a guaranteed fact, and you making yourself happy is also a guaranteed fact. Okay? There it is. So we went on to talking about some freaking chick named Misty Adams. If you want to catch up on what we've talked about, feel free to click on my YouTube. You can click on the link, the replays in Facebook and on YouTube, on the Modeja Everybody Eats podcast. If you're not subscribed, it'd be nice if you subscribed. I'd like it. I'd like to know that people really fuck with me, that I'm fuck-wittable. Is that even a statement? Is that even a word? Doug, are you fuck-wittable, Mr. Guest?
I guess.
I like that little subtle laugh. I guess. How's old Al doing, by the way? He got a girlfriend now. He ain't talking to nobody no more.
He's doing good. He's doing good. Love. He's getting up there, but he's doing good.
He's in love, man. Who would have ever guessed? Because when his wife passed, man, that was a pill to swallow, huh? He's been swallowing that pill for a few years.
Yeah. But it's still hard for him. But by the same token, he's chosen to be happy.
Exactly.
That's the point.
At 82, or he's like 81, 79?
Like 75, 74, 75, something like that. He was born in 1946. Do the math. I don't know what it is.
So he's 74? Something like that?
Yeah, and his birthday is April 7th.
Yeah, that's why we get along. We're both April babies.
So, do the math. He's 74 going on 75.
75. Go ahead, Doug. Or old Al. So, yeah, he's got a girlfriend now, and he's just like, hey, I do what I do now, man. You know me, I'm just down here chasing skirts. You 80 years old, man. Settle down there, old man. I'm chasing skirts. I'm still in the club.
That gives everybody hope, right?
Man, we're in here. Ex-military man, you know what I'm saying? Long-time photographer and videographer for the Air Force in the 1960s, right?
He joined the service in 62, I think he told me.
Yeah.
So 60, 70, he was in 30 years, 29, 20, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
And then after he got out of the Air Force, he joined the Coast Guard Auxiliary. He did that for 20 years. So this guy is, he's been serving for 50 years.
So he's got him a nice pension if they take care of him.
Yeah. One would hope.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we are talking about the military. Anywho, so let's get back to Misty Adams. So this is chapter, I believe, we're finishing up chapter 8. So let's just read as much as we can. So right now we're in the diner. David and Misty Adams has met and are planning a shoot, and we're going to leave off there. Let's see where we're at. Blah, 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 blah. So he hung up the phone. He was on the phone with her, actually, and he was high off of the fact that he had just talked to the crush of his life, Misty Adams. They had planned to do a shoot, and so he has to find a studio, and I believe he'd found one, and they're going to work on that. So we're going to start there. The next couple of days.
Wait. remember this, that Misty Adams is a famous Hollywood actress, but she's made everybody upset because she's really good, but then she has all these chips on her shoulder. And so David wanted to get together with her and revitalize her career.
Yeah.
That was his thinking. And of course, then that would revitalize his career.
Right. So, but then also he's in love with her. And he's slowly growing on her as well. So the next couple of days went by in a blur. David had no place to photograph Misty. She did not want to do it outdoors, and so he had to have a place inside that was suitable. His apartment was too small. She didn't want to do it at the mansion, so she said, she didn't want to do it at the mansion. She hated the mansion. So he promised her a studio. He found a place off Hollywood Boulevard and rented it for a week. It had a huge loft, and while it was barely furnished, it had plenty of room. He did not own the lights. It would take. Wait, let's see if I'm reading that right. He did not own the lights it would take to set it up. So he rented those too. Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay. Thank goodness there were plenty of places around town that did that sort of thing. David also hired an assistant. He didn't want anything to go wrong, and the man he hired had worked for him a time or two before. He was reliable and could adjust lights and change film. David normally used a 35 millimeter camera, but for this, he thought he'd use that and a Hasselblad large format camera. The Hasselblad was something he bought secondhand and didn't use much because he was more comfortable with the 35. But this was Misty Adams. He had best be prepared for anything. On the day Misty Adams was to be photographed, David called about noon and spoke to her. All was set, he told her, and she said she'd be ready. David kept pinching himself to see if he was still alive. Yeah, because in case you guys are wondering, David died a few times in his head because he couldn't believe that he was getting this opportunity. He had planned for so long for this, but was not really prepared. He was excited and nervous, and so he arrived early at his makeshift studio and checked and rechecked his equipment. He was going to wrap Misty in some bright red or blue cloth and use a fan to blow her hair. That would be one setup. Then he had a couch brought in that he thought she could lounge on for some more poses. David scrimmed the lights to give a soft appearance and covered the floor with paper to hide the old wooden boards. If he pumped out the light, the paper would reflect and make a surreal appearance. With Misty in that mix, her stunning beauty would be captured, he hoped. You never know about pictures, David thought. You just can't ever tell up front. You plan and you think and you figure and you calculate, but you just don't know until the model arrives. David chilled a bottle of wine. He figured that would make it easier. He knew Misty drank wine, but he didn't think to ask her what kind. Of course not, in his preparedness. So he picked a red wine. The label said something about strawberries, but he didn't really know wine, so he selected it because it sounded delicious. It would go with Misty's lips, he thought. And he bought some strawberries at the market. Models don't like to eat when they're modeling, but David thought it would be a nice touch. She wouldn't have to eat them, but if she wanted to, she could. By 4 p.m., he was all set. His assistant took a chair and they reviewed the plans. Everything was perfect. By 5 p.m., David paced the floor. Misty was due, and he looked out the window to see if she was pulling up. He gave her explicit instructions on how to find the place, and she said that her driver could get her there. By 6 p.m., David was pretty anxious. Most of the ice had melted, and he sent his helper out to get more. He had already eaten most of the strawberries. When 7 p.m. arrived, David's nerves were pretty much raw. Misty Adams was true to her reputation. That was for sure. 2 hours late is pretty late. David began to think maybe she wasn't coming. There was no phone in the room, so he couldn't call, and he didn't dare leave to find a telephone. David sat down and took a couple of pictures of himself waiting. Maybe his story would end up being the day he almost photographed Misty Adams. Poor David. At 7:30 p.m., David started getting depressed. Had she stood him up? Was she just leading him along on the phone? Did she get nervous and decide not to do the photo shoot? Then there was a rap on the door. David shot out of the chair like an excited poodle. He bumped into his assistant on his way over to the door. He opened it. Misty stood there with her driver just behind. She was dazzling. She had put on her long blonde hair up. A couple of wait a minute, let's get these pages. Strands dangled on her cheek. David could not believe his eyes. What he saw then and there was the legend. What was the legend, and not at all the same woman he had met on the beach. His mouth hung open a little, and he didn't speak. Well, are you going to invite me in, different David? Asked Misty. Yes, please, please come in, he said. David opened the door wider, and Misty walked by. Her perfume hit him like a million blossoms. David held his band out to the driver. Held his hand out to the driver. These things working? You said these things. I'm seeing words. Held his hand out to the driver. I'm David, he said. Drake, said the driver as he shook David's hand. David followed Misty inside. This is my assistant, William. Drake shook his hand. William hurried over to turn on the lights. David turned to him. Not yet. Give us a few minutes. Misty was wearing a light wrap. She placed it on the couch. I've seen better studios, she said. Well, there goes that bougie.
Yeah.
David tried to apologize, but before he could say anything, Misty looked him directly in the eyes. But I've never seen a cuter photographer. David breathed. Yeah, right. David breathed a sigh of relief. So what do you have in mind? Asked Misty. Well, David began, I thought we'd start by having you wrap in some colorful fabrics, something with a lot of tonal range. Start with red, maybe add some blue. Misty looked at him with anticipation. Oh, said David as he fumbled with the cloth to show her. These. Misty looked at them. She touched them. That might work, she said. David held his hand out towards the couch. Would you like to sit a minute? Misty looked at the couch. Oh, what a beautiful couch. This is just superb. Look at the ornate carving. I love this couch. She turned to Drake quickly. I want to buy this couch. She turned back. David, is this yours? No, he said. I rented this flat and the couch for the studio. Misty spun around to Drake again. Find out who owns this incredible couch and offer to buy it. It is a very special couch. She ran her hands across the wood. The wood was sitting on a small table nearby, or the wine was sitting on a small table nearby. Misty noticed it. Ooh, you brought some wine. Yes, would you like some? Asked David. Misty smiled. Thank you, different David. David twisted out the cork and poured Misty a glass. She took it immediately and pressed it on her lips. Oh, this is wonderful. What is this? David fumbled with the label. Misty put her hand up, or Misty put a hand on his to stop him. Don't tell me. I'll remember it as David's wine. David smiled. So did you have any trouble finding the place? David asked. David offered her strawberries and she took one, but waved off the others. Aren't you going to have some wine? Asked Misty, ignoring the question. Well, I don't, sure. David poured a little into another glass and tasted it. Isn't it good? Asked Misty. Yes, this tastes like strawberries. I know, said Misty, holding her glass over towards David so he could add some more of the out of the bottle, and even though her glass was still mostly full. Don't you want to sit? No, David, I think I just want to look around a little. Misty twirled as if she was in a huge studio. It was very modest, but Misty took it all in. She breathed in, sipped, looked around. David watched her with a smile on his face. He had never seen a model like this one. She seemed so alive, so happy to be there, as if it was the most important thing ever. No wonder the world loved her. She loved the world. She loved the world. Misty walked over to the window and gazed out as she sipped her wine. David didn't even know what to say, so he didn't say anything. Misty turned abruptly and looked him directly in the eye. What do you think of me, David? Without hesitation, David stepped toward her. You're the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. Liar, Misty said with a little tease. You look incredible. Drake and William stood off to the side, but they each gave the other a can you believe this glance? I like you, David. You're different. How am I different? I don't know. You just are. David walked over towards a chair near the window and pulled it out from the wall a little. Mind if I sit down? Misty looked at him. Would you pour me a little more of that wonderful wine? David retrieved the bottle. Misty curiously poked around in David's open camera bag. David watched her carefully. That wasn't a normal thing for a model to do, but this was Misty Adams. So he let her do as she pleased. She pulled a little camera out of the bag. It was an old antique David bought on his way out to California. He kept it around just because it was made in 1916. Is this that infamous camera from way back with who was that couple that the guy
Melissa and Dean, you haven't met them yet.
Isn't that the guy who's the guy that called the Colorado Rocky Mountain?
That was Melissa and Dean.
Right.
Like I say, you have not met them yet.
Right. Okay. How am I different? I don't know. You just are. David walked over towards a chair near the window and pulled it out from the wall a little. Mind if I sit down? Misty looked at him. Would you pour me a little more of that wonderful wine? David retrieved the bottle. Misty curiously poked around in David's open camera bag. David watched her carefully. That wasn't a normal thing for a model to do, but this was Misty Adams, and so he let her do as she pleased. She pulled out a little camera out of the bag. It was an old antique David bought on his way to California. He kept it around just because it was made in 1916. What's this? She asked. Oh, just an old camera. David reached for it and Misty handed it to him. He popped open the bellows and pointed it at Misty. She posed. David saw his own reflection in the window, juxtaposed next to Mindy. What's juxtaposed?
Juxtaposed means two things are side by side.
Oh. Next to Misty, he clicked the shutter. Well, that doesn't sound like very much, said Misty. I don't even know if it works. I haven't even developed the film that's in it. Misty smiled. How do you want me? How do you want me to use that cloth? Asked Misty. Ah, said David. I thought you could just wrap it around like clothing. That would be your clothing, and we could have one end come up in the middle, in the direction, and in one direction, and the other end back out towards the floor, as if I'm considering colors from a dressmaker. Asked Misty. Right, said David. That's right. I love the idea. Misty looked around the room. Where do you want me to change? This is just a one room apartment, said David. But I thought you would change over. You could change over in the bathroom. Will that be all right? I could change right here, said Misty seductively. Uh-oh, Doug. What's going on here, Doug? Well, you're blushing. David did blush when she said that. It was all so familiar, so friendly, as if he had known her for a long time. Drake, said Misty, looking at the Uber driver or whatever, looking at her driver. I think you two need to go take a long drive. I want to be alone with this boy. Yes, ma'am, said Drake immediately. William looked at David, and guessed. Wait. William looked at David and used his shoulders to question the request. David used his head to indicate William should go with Drake. Misty walked towards the bathroom. Would you bring me my wardrobe, please, sire? Said Misty with a bit of playful command. David followed her with several bolts of cloth. What the hell was that? Some random bug just run across my floor. Misty reached back to unzip her form-fitted dress. She fumbled a bit as she stood in the bathroom doorway. Would you help me, please? She said, or she asked. Timidly, David reached over and started to zip her down where she could better grasp it. That's all, she asked. That's all, she asked with a smile. I think you can. Suppose I want a little more help, asked Misty, interrupting. I don't know, man. I feel like this person's getting a little frisky.
She sent the driver and the photo assistant to take a long drive.
Yeah. Hey, go take a hike, man. You could use the air. It's like midnight, ma'am. Hike now. And don't come back till 2 a.m. or when I call. So David zipped the dress down further, revealing Misty's bra. Her skin was tanned, but below the bra, it was milky white. David hesitated. Go ahead, said Misty. I thought, go ahead, different David. You've already seen me naked at the beach, said David quietly. We've been skinny dipping together, and Misty with a giggle. Well, it was pretty dark. Well, what's darkness except the absence of sun? Asked Misty. David nodded his head nervously. Does David get lucky? Does he get some booty? Yes, I suppose. Yes, I suppose. Stay tuned. Yes, I suppose you're right. David zipped the dress all the way down to her bottom. They said bottom. Just saying. All the way down to her bottom.
This is the 1950s. What's the date on this? 1957
1956. Here. That's better, she said, as she quickly took the cloth out of David's hand and pushed him out of the doorway with the tip of her fingers. David backed up with surprise. Misty laughed as she slowly closed the door, looking directly at David's eyes. Wow, David, thought David. This woman is full of surprises. He couldn't even help but feel she had him in the palm of her hand. He walked away from the bathroom with a shake to his head. She arrived late. She kicked everybody out. She teased him and then disappeared behind the door. David poured himself some more wine and finished it rather quickly. He felt warmth in his head. He considered himself to be a good photographer, but this shoot was going to be a challenge. He was totally off his game and in her court. David looked around the room. Everything else was set. He sat down to wait, but then about the time he was settled, the bathroom swung open and out stepped Misty. Ta-da, she said as she held one hand low and the other in the air. Instinctively, David clapped. Incredible. Do you like it? Yes, I do, said David, nodding his head. Misty waltzed over towards David and did a little spin. She had used the blue and yellow in a combination wrap. He wondered how she was able to do it, but even thought, this is a very talented woman. Misty smiled. I thought you would like it, sir. Misty looked around the room. Where's my favorite? Oh, said David, as he jumped almost empty as he jumped up, he retrieved her glass, which was almost empty, and he handed it to her. That's it, asked Misty. David got the bottle and poured the glass full. There wasn't much left in the bottle. Misty sipped the wine. What a great year, she said. It's 1956. David smiled and clinked his glass to hers. To 1956, a great year. Misty swallowed her She swallowed her. Let's see. She swallowed a little deeper. Sorry, I lost my track of sight right there. There was still some wine in her
Kind of
glass.
making you nervous, huh?
No, I just got crossed up and I just lost track of where I was at.
That's
Misty
what Misty
swallowed a little
does to
deeper.
people. She gets them all tongue tied and stumbling
Yeah.
over each other.
Yeah.
That's Misty.
So Misty swallowed a little deeper. There was still some wine in her glass, but David poured the remainder from the bottle into it. Misty sipped a little more. She looked around. Where do you want me? Where, different David? Where? David turned on the lights one by one. I was thinking you could stand over here in the light by the fan, and we'll work on this side over here. Misty looked. Okay, I can do that. David got his camera and walked over to a spot in front of Misty. Without instruction, Misty struck a pose. That's excellent, said David. Thank you. Wait. Thank you, different David, she said. That was a weird read. Okay. Oh, said David, reaching to take her glass from her. Shoot some with me holding this wine, David's wine, she suggested. David took a couple of shots as Misty posed for the posed first one way and then another. Arm over head and hand holding the glass near her hip. David moved to get additional angles as Misty slowed and turned to look at him over her shoulder. As she moved, David made pictures, slowly at first, and then a little faster as they proceeded. All right, we're going to pull the plug there. It is 8:41. I have Father Day duties. We'll pick up where we left off, and I think we have 2 more chapters. I think this ends at chapter 10. Let's see. Yeah, chapter 10 is the final chapter in book 1, and then we'll start book 2.
What page are you on?
So right now I am on the back end of chapter 8 page. I ended at page 216.
And how many total?
How
many total in the book?
In the entire book?
Yeah.
266. As far as the reading is concerned, the let's see here. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. $254 ends everything at the end.
The book has reviews in it. Read one of the reviews. Pick a short review and read it.
A review?
If you don't mind. It's toward the back.
It's in the back? I see synopsis. I see about the order. I see the tetralogy, which I've never seen that word before. Ordering information. What's tetralogy?
It means there's 4 in the series.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that word before.
The word tetra means 4.
I thought quatra meant 4. And
well,
tetra meant like what's tetra like?
Quadrangle, 4, quadrangle.
Yeah.
Okay, but tetrangle is the same thing, 4.
Okay. So reviews. Look for Me is a special novel that could have only been written by a man like Mr. Guest. From Ireland to Pennsylvania, from Hollywood to Texas, this book will keep you enthralled. Real life and times, interspersed with fiction, keeps you wondering what's coming next. A little romance to keep the ladies happy, enough battle gore for the men. Look for Me is a memorable tale of a trek from one side of the world to the other. It is a thoroughly enjoyable story that starts 1,000 years ago and ends today, or does it? Tune in next time, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Storytime Live with your man, Mo and Doug Kirk. We love you guys. See you on the next one. Doug,
Good to
Your
see
thoughts?
you, Bo. Thank you.
your thoughts?
I'm
That
anxious
was
to hear.
That was a
I'm
really
anxious-
good review. I like that review.
I'm anxious to hear the rest of it so we can kind of put that in the books before the end of 2022.
I think
This-
so.
This
I think
year's wrapping up.
I'd like to maybe perhaps like just kind of it's 254 to finish it, and I think I left off at 246 or something like that.
You're at 216, you told me. 216. So you got about
216.
40 pages to go.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to read all of it through. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, maybe I'll read. Maybe I'll try to read through all of it. But yeah, no. So I think it's starting to spice up a little bit. And so I want to see where that goes between Misty and David. I think she's kind of getting a little. She's found something in David. I think whatever was going on with her, she's seemingly found something with him, and I think she's loving it. I think it's and obviously she's done something to him as well. So could we safely assume that this is Dob and Meowlin and Dub?
Don't know.
It's feeling awfully Meowlin and Dubbish, or it's feeling Mary and
Darby.
Darby. And then, or it's feeling Darby and what's the other girl? May. No, May was the first one, then Mary.
Yes.
Yeah. It's feeling a lot like that. That weird chemistry out of nowhere. For some reason, they just can't get over each other. I'm liking, I'd love to see where that goes to. Hey, come on, it's time to start getting ready. But yeah, I'm anxious to see where that goes. And then yeah, we're pretty much done with book 1 and get into book 2. And that's when we start really seeing stuff. I think
the thing to understand that book 1 is just a setup. It's just a setup.
Yeah.
It begins to get crazy in book 2.
Yes, book
crazy
2.
good. Crazy good.
That's with the storms and stuff like that. And, yeah.
And the possibilities, the unbelievable possibilities.
I love it. So that's my night for tonight, guys. I thank you guys so much for all the comments, Mr. Guest. Like always, it's a pleasure. I think we have 1 or 2 more Tuesdays before Christmas. So yeah, let's read with each other and see this thing off into the sunset that would be the end of 2022 and the sunrise of 2023. I thank you guys. Go ahead.
Which will definitely be a better year.
Right?
The last couple of years have been a challenge, you know.
It's been crazy, but hopefully 2023 is something better. But I'm thankful for what we have going on right now until 2023 gets here. I am thankful. All the people that tune in, show support and show love, thank you so much. Those people that hate, thank you so much. Those people that don't hate, that just don't tune in, it'd be nice if you did tune in, check things out, see how we do things. But yeah, Alicia says yes, it will be a great year. We'll see what 2023 has. We've been surprised before, so let's see what happens. On that, love you guys. No funny. Keep your head up. Keep God in the center of everything, man. And everybody eats. From my family to your family. If I don't see you guys again, happy holidays. But we have 2 weeks before that. So, Mr. Guest, I'll see you.
Always a pleasure, Mo. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much. Good night.
Look at the clock behind me. It hadn't moved the whole time we were here. It hadn't moved.
I know. The spirits have gone.
It's broken.
The spirits have gone.
I'm going to get a whole bunch of clocks. That whole back wall is going to be full of clocks.
What are you, Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future?
And none of them are going to work.
That's craziness.
See you later.
We'll see you guys later. Take care. Y'all have a good one. Bye now.